Guess what? You are live on Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio,
All
and you just got
right.
caught in mid-sentence, sort of,
First time.
Yeah.
First
with
time.
Adam Russell that everyone was asking about earlier in that.
All
A little bit
right.
late.
We're here. It's okay, man.
Little late, especially
the last guys
needed.
in here. We're good, man.
Yeah. Then not only need to turn off the speakers to that down for that one event and that thing and that
Oh yeah, yeah.
another crash
We're
course thing that
rocking out in the
happened.
studio. People are asking you to turn down.
Yeah. So what's been up since last spring?
A little bit. I've been kind of busy, man. I've been making some changes on the music front a little bit, but things are good. Still making music, which is positive.
Yeah.
Last spring, I was playing with a group, and now I'm not playing with a group so much. I still got a couple friends around that, we kind of gig here and there, which is a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. I don't like to do one thing for so long, you know what I mean? You got to mix it up, stay fresh, keeps you on your toes.
I gotcha.
But still playing with my buddy Austin, great guitar player. Plays down in Youngstown area a lot of the time, so he'll give me a call, and I got like a 2-hour drive to go play a gig somewhere, and I hate saying no to a gig. I like playing live, so it's always a
Valid.
good time. There's a lot of fun people that come out, and usually the drinks are free, which is a plus.
Yeah, well, it's a benefit in that to do it, man.
It's all good, man. Music is where it's at. It keeps me happy. You know, it's a hobby, and it's still here, so I'm just going to hang on to it. But, yeah, I picked up a new toy, audio interface with a couple extra inputs. So the music I'm doing now has, like, live drums in it, which before I wasn't really doing a lot of live drum stuff. It was kind of already in the program kind of stuff, so I've been playing around with that, trying to get used to it, just seeing what sounds good versus what doesn't. I don't know how good of a drummer I am, but I just bang on the things, you know. So, you put the microphone here, and then, I got rid of my double bass pedal for a while, and I moved everything up, and then I moved everything back down and put the double bass back in and added a floor tom. So it's all this crazy stuff, It's like an evolution. You really never stop. You just
But
kinda
you have to
try.
experiment, though.
That's it, man. That's exactly what it is,
It's an ever, expanding possibility in that.
It is, man. It really is. And probably since like 3-4 years ago when I bought the recording studio out of a box. It's been crazy, man. I went from just recording a couple things at a time to just loading up instruments. I'm doing keyboards now and shakers, tambourines, anything that you could bang on that makes a noise for percussion. I picked up a 6-string bass guitar about a year ago now, maybe. I'm really loving it. I got my eye on a 5-stringer now, but maybe come Christmas. But the 6-string is cool because I get to kind of play some fun, almost guitar-esque stuff, and then come back really down low, heavy. So it's been kind of a learning curve. Other than that, man, just trying to stay creative and making stuff up on the fly. A couple years ago, I was writing a lot of stuff like ahead of time with lyrics and, your traditional verse, chorus kind of stuff. Now I'll make a loop from my bass guitar, and then I'll plug in the headphones and my bass amp while I'm sitting on the drum kit. So I'm sitting back there on the kit, and I got my headphones on, and I could hear the loop in my ears. And I just start playing drums. I'm kind of keeping time in my head, Drums is kind of like time, And then I just stop. I'll go over to my little computer, and, all right, this is a good take. I don't go back and do things over and over and over and over. Fill in here. Oh, I messed up here. Let me redo it. And I just kind of take the best take, which is always my first take on drums. And then I'll grab a bass guitar, and then I'll just kind of lay down something, and then I'll put another guitar track in there, or whatever. It's basically very improvised on the spot nowadays. I'm not writing music how I used to write it. It's pretty much just fluid, man. It just comes out. And it's helped keep me very creative, Instead of just sitting down and saying, okay, well, how do I write this song this time? It's always the same formula. I want to do something different. This is the way I do something different. But then, depending on what mood I'm in that day, I might actually sit down and write a verse and a chorus. I might actually sing, because a lot of stuff I do now is instrumental. I just like to play music, and I don't want to waste my time unless I have something I really want to say, to sing about, get a message across. Then I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to force it. But you know how it is. If you feel something that you need to say or get out, it just comes out. And it's natural. You don't really have to work at it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, man. I'm just making these songs, having fun doing it. It's a little bit love-hate. Sometimes it goes really good. Other times it's not happening and it's frustrating. Yeah. You know, not having a band at times is kind of a struggle, because when you play by yourself, you always kind of know what's coming. So you have to kind of stretch a little bit and say, all right, what can I do different that I don't always do? As opposed to when you're in a group, somebody else always brings something to the table, and that makes you creative. That kind of is like, oh, wow, all right.
Yeah, you don't have that person sort of pushing you, saying, hey, you should try this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or that,
and it
or
makes
blah,
a
blah,
huge
blah.
difference. Whenever I play with somebody, my style of play and what I would normally do goes out the window, and it conforms to what is best for the song at that time. And I kind of miss that. I still get some of that playing with friends here and there, and it's great, you know, but ideally what I'd like to do, since I've been mixing and learning how to do all this stuff now, is kind of just get it out there to where if anybody, musician or bands, are looking to record and don't have the thousands of dollars to go in a professional studio or know a guy that knows a guy, you know, Adam Russell could mix you. You know, I could get you down for something really cheap, you know what I mean? Because up to a few years ago, I was the guy that couldn't get himself heard. I was still in the basement just playing. I had all these good ideas. I had no idea of how to get it heard unless I could go into the studio and spend a lot of money. And even then, I didn't know if it was going to sound how I wanted it to sound. But now I'm making my music how I like it to sound. And
your best decision was the Reverb Nation page. That's how I found you.
Yeah, that's it, man. I need to update that. I'm still not much for networking. You know, it's so crazy. All the stuff I do with my music is computer related. But other than that, I'm never on a computer. I just refuse to do it, man. Like, I don't really network myself. Because, again, I'm not really out there playing a lot of gigs and trying to promote myself. Music is my creative outlet just to do it because I like to do it. It's fun for me. And if people enjoy listening to it, you know, that's fantastic. It's so humbling when somebody comes up to you. And I give CDs out to guys at work. That's another thing that changed. I left my place of employment for 11 years, started a new job a few months ago. So it's pretty exciting. It's a change. But now I got all these new people that I've met and new attitudes and personalities. It's incredible, you know. I usually give them a CD, you know, and they're like, oh, you play music? I said, yeah. And then they'll listen to it, and then it's really always so surprising to me when somebody actually takes the time out of their day to listen to my stuff. And then when they come back and they say, wow, I really liked it, man. Like, you've got something going on here. Really? What did you like about it, you know? And they tell me, and it's just... It's so cool because I usually remember exactly what I was thinking about when I made that song. So when somebody comes up to me and says, I really like this song, Light of Day, or whatever it is, and you're like, I know exactly, it was about David Bowie right after he passed away, so I even kind of sound like him a little bit. It puts me right back to when I was on the couch mixing that song. And it could be on so many different levels on what you're feeling. It takes you right back to that time, and you're like, wow, thanks for sharing. You know, it's really cool. It's almost just like telling a story. And somebody got something out of it. Whatever it was, for whatever reason, they dug it. So it's really cool, man. There's a couple guys out there that have listened to stuff. And I hope they're watching now, man, because I told them I'd make a fool out of myself. But hopefully they'll get a chance to listen to some of these tracks we got on here.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was two of them in the chat box, and that's while we were at them and that.
Shout out to Cali Chris, my man, down in California. Still got his drums down in the basement. They sound great, man. Everything you hear on the drums tonight are from Chris Shear's drum kit.
You want to jump to one of the tracks?
Sure, man. Go ahead. Which
one?
Hear something. You could play the first couple if you want, or maybe the first track.
We'll go with one.
All right, man.
Why not?
Let her rip.
Oh, he said, yay, thank you, bro.
You got it, man. Thanks for listening.
The funny thing is he labeled himself how he said it.
That's it. That's the name, man.
So here we go. classic rock. Well, we are back. But yeah, that's the true thing in that. Yeah, you can find anyone that like old style, like classic rock in that sound.
Yeah, man. I mean,
You're like one of the few out there, especially like in this local
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I don't get out of a lot. So I don't really know what's kind of going on in the scene, I guess you could say. But I hear stuff, and it's either like somebody hanging out playing an acoustic and a cajon drum,
Mm.
or it's like a big metal scene in Cleveland where it's just kind of heavy stuff all the time. And to each their own, basically, is what I say, you know. But I like to mix it up. I don't like to fall under one category. There's some songs on this CD here to where it's like a straight up electronic, you know what I mean? I still will mix some electronic drums in there just to get you thinking it's something that you would hear in a club or something like that, you know? But I am definitely a huge fan of like old classic rock, you know, like Jefferson Airplane. Live albums, man. I like to have stuff sound like you're watching them, as opposed to like everything now to where it's so digitized to where it kind of sounds fake to me. It doesn't sound real. I'm sure everybody's had the problem where they go see a band live and you're like, man, these guys are terrible, but the record, they sound so good, you know? It's a perfect example of a band that just basically spent a lot of money in the studio, and when you go see them live, you're like, wow, they just can't produce the same way. It's not the same band. And it is what it is, you know what I mean? But the way I look at it is like, if you can't do it live, then what are you doing it for? Which is part of the reason why I don't really do a lot of live stuff, because I can only do so many things at one time. You know, I have loop pedals, I have effects pedals, I have the whole nine, you know. But for me, it's not a lot of fun to sit here and do all this stuff and, you know, make sounds with my mouth or bang on stuff by myself. There's just too much going on, you know. It's like a job at that point. It's not fun for me. It might sound decent, maybe. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, I hope I don't screw this up royally, you know? Because it's a juggling act. Some
It's
people do
true.
it so well, too. But for me, it's just...
Well, it's just experience.
Yeah, man, if you do anything long enough, you're going to get better and better and better.
And realizing what you can manipulate so far in that.
Right.
So,
And that's part of the problem I have being, like, this solo guy that makes his own music, produces his own music. What could I do? Should I be out there doing this? And but ultimately, it's just, it always comes back to, unless I'm part of a group, I'm not really playing out. I'm just making music, being creative on a disc, you know, because I can't mimic what you just heard by myself. Although I was thinking about, they got this cool little pedal. It's called Beat Buddy, and it basically is like a drum machine in a pedal form. So instead of like your old traditional analog push button from the 80s or 90s, like really drum machine, this is a very professional, live sounding drum machine in a foot pedal form. So if like you click it once, it'll give you a beat, and if you hold it down, it'll play like a chorus beat. So that the sound changes, the tempos are always the same. So I could sit here and play along to this thing, which is pretty cool, but I just know for me, I would get burnt out on that. It's more of a tool just to do something down in the basement. Like, yeah, this is kind of cool. It's all right, you know, but it's not how I would want to make music. It's not how I'd want to go out there and represent myself. You know, I need to be part of a group to go out on the scene, you know, which as I get older is less and less important to me. If it happens, it happens. It's great. You know, I still love playing with people and house parties and all that stuff, or if somebody somehow manages to get a gig, you know, sometimes my phone will ring and I'm there. I'm not going to turn down a gig, you know, but I'm also
True.
not going to bust my butt to go try to find a gig for me. If I had people, or if anybody knows anybody, drop me a line, you know. I'm always open to jam or something like that, but this is where it's at for me now. I'm enjoying it. It's good. Keeps me creative.
I got you.
Yeah.
I know you got something.
You got some questions?
Come on. Hey, you got to start
gotta
someplace in that.
Gotta think.
You know, both of us in that going at it. It's time for you to contribute in.
She's just kind of hanging out, chilling. It's like, this is new for me. It's all right, though.
It's okay. Don't worry. We'll come up with stuff in that.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is like my first time being on air, kind kind of new to this.
Well, sorta you've been
Well,
a few
a
times.
few times.
Not with the actual person that.
Exactly.
So, I have to say, out of the 6, if you had to pick one that you would say, this is it. What did I do?
But bam! He's breaking stuff. You don't even know your
Something like
strength.
that.
If I had to pick one,
Yeah, if you had to pick one
Out of
that you
those
would
6?
say, that's me, or that's what I want to go after, and that's my like top piece out of it, what would it be?
that's pretty crazy because I'm not sure. I have like 60 songs now, and those.
No, I mean
6
out of the 6.
Out of those 6, I've probably made most of those in the last couple months. So I would say like track 5 on there is one that
Yeah.
I just did like 2 days ago actually.
So Lights From You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a pretty good track. I remember I did some of that with the 6 string, so it's got a lot of low bass on there. It's got a little bit of keyboards on there, which I don't play a lot of, but if I feel it, I'll mix them in there. It's got some interesting sounds going on in there. It's definitely a different track for me. Kind of singing in a different voice. It's another thing I like to do, like how I mentioned earlier, not to fall under one category. I like to mix it up a little bit. So, on one track I might sing one way, on the other track, sound completely different.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
But there's definitely a few of them. There's a lot of instrumentals also that I like, just for the fact of that's cool, you know. My voice isn't getting in the way, because I don't really like to listen to myself sing. It's strange. It's kind of like when you hear yourself on a phone call or a voicemail, and you're like, I really sound like that, man. I sound.
It's so many people that join
weird.
the station that go and say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear myself and that, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
You're always your own
I'm
worst
afraid
critic, I guess. But,
Yeah, you know, I don't want to,
yeah.
hear myself. I sound stupid on mic.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Then these are the people that joined here. Then they ended up going and defining and pretty much eating their words of saying that.
Yeah. That's radio for you, I guess. I don't know
A little
how
bit
good
in a
I'd be at
nutshell.
radio. I mean, it seems like it would be a fun job. I don't know if I could talk that much. I don't know.
What do you think? I've been going, what, an hour and a half?
Yeah,
on
man,
that?
you've been trucking.
You know, guys before you
Yeah,
and that.
man. Holding it down.
So, yeah, holding it
You're
down
pro. You're pro.
with a thing and that.
Yeah.
Hey, I've done three interviews back to
Really?
back. So, yeah, 3 hours straight.
I got some coffee before I came in here. It helped. I was starting
Yeah.
to feel a little tired. I hit up Breakers downstairs and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get some kind of coffee. It's pretty good, too.
Yeah. They appreciate it.
Oh,
They
yeah,
appreciate
man.
the plug and that.
Oh, yeah.
Jumper, Jeremiah's number 1 with me. So, name one version you'll like to play, or venue that you would like to play at that you haven't been
Huh.
yet.
Wow.
I like that. Jeremiah's number 1 with me.
You're number one, Jeremiah.
And you know the funny thing is, I'm not the one typing that. Yeah,
Everybody
venue. I
loves you,
got
man.
it.
A venue that I'd want to play at? I don't even know, man. How about Blossom? Because I love outside venues. And instead of playing in a small little club or a bar somewhere, it would be awesome just to play like the biggest stage, I guess you can imagine. I don't know.
Alan.
Anywhere, man. Anywhere. Anywhere there's a good gig. Outside gigs are a lot of fun. I just like the feel of it. You know, it's a little bit more free as opposed to being in a bowl or something like that.
Very valid.
Yeah. I never think about that stuff, so I'm never sure what kind of answers to give. Somewhere outside.
Somewhere outside.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that one out. What was it? Colorado.
Oh, Red
Is it-
Rocks?
Yeah, Red Rocks.
Yeah, I was actually at Red Rocks like 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago?
Because everyone
Yeah.
says they love and that how the shape and
Oh.
that of it is.
It is fantastic.
I still
man.
haven't looked that up to see
It's
what it
one
looked
thing
like.
to see it on like a DVD or like a favorite band that you watch it play the venue, and it's obviously completely different to go and see it in person. We got there at like 5 o'clock in the morning or something crazy like that, and the sun was just coming up. And it's like on this freaking mountain, you know, so you're looking down and you can just see all these little valleys and gullies and mountains and things like that, and it's just,
Wow.
it's breathtaking. and people were there like running up and down the steps like track stars or something like that, or like high schools, because they use the steps that go up as like for exercise, or it's so long that they actually like Pac-Man, they go from one side to the next all the way down, and then they'll run back up. Or you see the one guy that runs all the way up and runs down, or is doing crunches or something. But yeah, Red Rocks, that's the one. How about that one, Red Rocks? I would definitely rather play Red Rocks over Blossom.
It's so many people that say that.
It's just so cool because
Like
you're wedged
last spring
between
and
these
now.
huge Red Rocks, you know, and the acoustics. Fortunately, I didn't get to see the band that was playing there that night. But I can imagine the acoustics, they just travel straight up at you because they're bouncing off of these rocks and
Yeah.
they're just coming back at you. So,
It's almost like a funnel effect.
yeah, really cool, man. A lot of hiking trails in the back. We hit up the hiking trails. It was awesome. Once in a lifetime trip. I hope it's at least another lifetime trip because I would love to go back to Colorado. It was
Seems
so
awesome.
cool. So cool. Like a lot of people, I'm stuck in Ohio, you know what I mean? So,
Valid.
but being able to get up and go, if you can go, Colorado is definitely a place to be. So cool.
I like the one person that goes and switches Jeremiah's middle finger.
Oh, wow.
Who do you want to open for?
Oh.
Come on, you got to have that bucket list thing up.
You know, my
If I
bucket
was-
list just kicked the bucket, actually. Tom Petty, man. Tom Petty. I'm so happy my girlfriend and I went and saw him this last July.
I
Hadn't
know I'm
seen him.
ticked.
Hadn't seen him live. Passed on him the last couple times he came to Cleveland. And it was like, all right, we got to see him this time. We got to see him. We got to see him. We even bought tickets that said partially obstructed view, so we didn't know where we were going to be sitting. And we ended up being like 3 rows off of the floor, right by the stage. I mean, they were great seats, you know. We kept looking at our tickets like, are these the right seats, you know? I don't know if we're in the right spot or not. And they came out and just killed it, man. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Phenomenal band. Another awesome, great one down the drain, man. It's too bad. It was sad. Sad day. It's always that bit of shock, you know? You're like, really? Oh, man.
I know. And I was
Oh.
hoping he was going to come through in that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, irony is, that was a very poor decision.
Joe Walsh opened up for him, he was killing it, man. They had 2 drummers going. Man,
Yeah.
awesome stuff. Just rocking concert. And these guys are in their like mid to late 60s and just shredding. People singing every word to every song. It was like everybody in there was one big breath. Because everybody just knew, you know, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Everybody knows their
They're
songs.
pretty much solid, too.
Man, and they were so good. So good. I would have loved to open for him. I don't really listen to a lot of new current stuff. Every now and then one will slip through the cracks. But
Yeah.
I've just usually made such a habit out of listening to the same bands for so long.
It's true. So,
Yeah.
Adam Apple, where can we hear your music? Well, Reverb Nation for one.
Reverb Nation, yeah, it's just search for Adam Russell. I have a Facebook page. I'm never on it, but if you search for Adam Russell around the Wickliffe, Ohio neighborhood, I'm sure I'll pop up in there somewhere. I got some songs on there. Sometimes I'll update it. A lot of times I'll leave stuff up there for like 6 months to a year before I put any new tracks on there. So that's a good starting point. Adam Russell, Facebook, Reverb Nation, Adam Russell. It'll pop up there somewhere.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, this person wants to call in, but maybe let's jump to a track in that, then I'll type that in
Sure.
that for him.
Let's do
So-
it, man.
You want to go...
Anyone.
Great? Great?
Good.
Okay. That's where we're going to go with Great. It's a great big world.
Time of day when I remember where I am. Need time, need you.
3 and 4. So,
Yo.
what's up? Um,
We're mixing it up here in the studio, y'all.
yeah, I'm Dylan. And, not sure we left off with questions, but so you got like anything coming up? I mean, I wasn't here, so I don't know.
That's okay, man. That's all right. No, we were just basically listening to a few tracks off of this CD that I make. I'm kind of out of the norm as far as playing gigs and stuff like that, man. I kind of self-produce and make my own music down in the basement and stuff like that. So
Right on.
we're just kind of talking about, mostly how that goes. Sometimes I'll play out a gig here and there or whatever, but most of the time I just make my own music, man.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
So, since I wasn't here, it's mostly acoustic, and then like I was sensing like there's like a beat behind it. Do you like do that on the computer and?
Some of it's done on the computer. There's a track on there, actually, like the last track on that CD is a lot of electric drums. So it's just kind of like
Right.
drums on top of drums, but there's like probably 4 or 5 layers of bass guitar going on in there. But
Right.
like I was telling these guys earlier, up to about a year ago, not even, probably 6 months ago maybe, I was still using a lot of the programmed drum stuff until I
Alright.
went out and I bought some stuff to record my own drums live. So it's
Yeah,
been kind of a
cool.
learning curve, but every now and then I still like to just fall back and do the electric stuff for fun, because it's cool just to listen to some of the samples that are in the library of things to pick from. So instead of going downstairs and hooking everything up and worrying about trying to make the next masterpiece, sometimes I'll just go through the programs and say, well, this sounds kind of cool. It's easy
Yeah.
to just click on something and decide whether or not you like it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
every now and then I still do that, just and I'll give that CD to somebody and they'll say, well, I liked all these other tracks, but you had a couple tracks on there. It felt like I was in a rave or something like that. I wasn't know what was that all about. You know?
Yeah.
I got to throw you a curveball, man. It's just something to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
That's okay, man. It's totally cool.
Alright, so you probably already got like your inspirations and everything, right?
Well, we talked a little bit about just how I'm into like classic rock, but as far as inspirations, I think somebody asked a question about who'd you want to open for, and I said Tom Petty.
Yeah, I heard that one there.
Did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I like a lot of the classic rock stuff. Like Led Zeppelin was a huge inspiration to me, and Rush,
Yeah.
all those kinds of bands. You know what I mean? I don't really stay current with a lot of the new stuff, unless I'm searching on YouTube or something like that, and something
Yeah.
will pop up. I also subscribe to Bass Player magazine
Mhm.
monthly, so once a month I get that cool thing in the mail, and I'm like, oh yeah, magazine day, and I'll read through it, and they have articles on
Yeah.
gear or who's hot in the scene now. Like
Yeah.
this guy named Thundercat. This guy is crazy on the bass, man, just unbelievable. So sometimes I'll find out about music that way. But still, classic rock is where it's at for me, man. I like to get the lead out,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's good to have a mix. A
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
heavy, a little bit light. As long as you're kind of doing something is the way I look at it, then you're kind of going the right direction.
Yeah. So what was your first bass guitar?
My first bass guitar, there you go. My first bass guitar was off of eBay for $150.
Mhm.
It was called Johnson. We used to laugh and call it Big Black Johnson. And I sold it for parts. They let me keep the neck. I still have it. It's hanging up on the wall down in my
Right.
basement. And I have another bass guitar. It's an Epiphone SG. It's got like the devil horns, candy apple red, wood grain. Really sweet, man. It's not worth anything and it plays like crap, but it's the one bass that I still have after all these years, after coming close to a couple trade-ins. And it's like, no, I just want to keep it. I just want
Yeah.
to keep it. It looks cool up on the wall, you know what I mean? Like, it's the one bass. Hopefully I'll never get rid of. I mean, I might have to one day, but I'm up to like 10 bass guitars now, man.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's the one I want to keep, I got a few cheap ones that are just beaters in case, they usually a backup to whenever I do gig out somewhere. I always like to roll with 2 basses just in case something happens.
Yeah.
You have another one to roll with. I got like a fretless bass, you know. I was telling these guys I picked up a 6-string bass a while back. It's good to have range, you know what I mean? That's another thing I keep in mind when I'm doing all my songwriting now is I know that certain basses sound a certain way.
Uh-huh.
And playing with, you know, the treble knobs and bass knobs and all that kind of stuff, just kind of honing in on what kind of sound it is you're looking for. Playing with a pick, playing with your fingers, I like to mix it up, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I used to be the bass player that would say, you're not a real bass player if you play with a pick. You got to use your fingers, you know what I mean? Even though I started with a pick.
Yeah.
You start listening to like bands of the Chili Peppers or like Incubus and 311. I dropped the pick and started playing with my fingers, and I never went back. And then like a couple years ago, it's like, oh, I could play a little faster with a pick.
Yeah.
I was going for a certain sound that I wasn't really getting, you know, so. And also when you play with a pick and you're recording bass, your frequency range is a lot tighter.
Mhm.
Something about when you play with your fingers, your frequency range goes like crazy. So it's a lot harder to actually keep it where it needs to be without
Yeah.
getting all distorted and sounding like mud in a recording.
Yeah.
Something I kind of learned along the way from doing this whole recording thing. So depending on what sound I'm going for, on what song or whatever, I'll either play a pick or play this bass for half the song, and then I'll record the other half with this different bass, you know.
Yeah. Very cool.
So
Yeah. Like, so when did you go straight into it thinking you were gonna play bass?
well, actually, I tried learning guitar first, and I just couldn't do it, you know. I was like, man, playing chords was
Yeah.
impossible to me, you know. So naturally, a bass has got to be way easier. It's only got 4 strings.
Yeah.
So I started out playing that bass when I got that first one off of eBay. This guy showed me how to play bass. He had 2 fingers that were cut off in like a sawing accident, and they put them back on, but they had like a permanent like curve to them.
Oh, like they just didn't really move.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of dexterity to it, but he would just play this thing. And he was great, man. He played in this band. They were like Carlos Santana style, man.
Oh, really? That's
I
cool.
was like blown away. You know, he had flat wound strings on his bass, so they're really smooth. They weren't like rigid strings. They're like smooth, like baby smooth strings, man. It just opened my eyes. Like bass is where it's at. This is what I want to do forever, you know.
Yeah.
But now I'm playing. You know, drums was my second love. Who doesn't like beating on stuff, you know? Coming up in bands when you're looking for musicians to play certain instruments, and they're like, well, I could give it a try. I don't know how good I'm gonna be. I
Yeah.
just like to say, if you make it look like you know what you're doing, then the people will think that you're awesome. You know what I mean? You might not be that great, but he's doing okay. So drums is a lot of fun. I play a little bit of guitar. Like on most of my songs and recordings I have, man, there's a lot of stuff on there. Keyboards, guitars, it's all me on there.
Right on.
I got a few friends I record with, and we do little songs with here and there, which is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's something I would like to do in moving forward is taking on other projects, not just doing my own stuff, but you know,
Mhm.
if people need recording,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I'm willing to take on projects, you know.
Yeah. So, he probably already asked this, but what was your favorite gig? Or well, favorite doing anything?
Well, when I was hooked up with this band last summer, Spencer Reed Band, I remember we played a gig down in Toledo, which to me was cool because I'm so used to playing around here,
Mm.
basically everywhere in Cleveland and all that. So it was like, oh, I'm going somewhere out of town, somewhere different. And we show up, and it was like this massive stage, you know? Kind of like the stage where somebody else is there all day setting up. I'm talking the lights, the whole night, man.
Yeah.
Everybody was playing out of equipment that was like, you know, pure rock star status. My jaw was just on the floor the whole time, like, oh, wow, I can't believe I get to play out of this stuff, you
Yeah.
know? And the lights are going and everything. So I remember everybody, too, was just on cloud 9. We were all pumped. Like, I can't believe this is actually happening. Go from playing in a bar in a basement to full-on awesomeness of a stage. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him sitting there and playing with the sound effects.
That's what I thought he was like. She kept looking at it.
Yeah. Well, you could tell by this. Yeah, he sat there and played The Price is Right, wrong horn.
Oh yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, when I was just walking back from the bathroom.
Nice.
So,
So, what do you think we can get another track in here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that last track. I think it's track 6.
You gotta go over to CD player.
You do it.
Okay. Oh, it's not that hard. It's right here.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah, CD.
Boom.
Here we go. You forgot 2. There you go.
All right, we're back.
We are back, and Dylan's showing that he's green. He's utterly green. I'm loving the new music, great variety of sounds and rhythm.
Thank
Callie,
you.
Chris.
All right, man. I'm glad you're digging it. Thanks for hanging in there, man.
Yep,
Sweet.
got a fan.
I miss you, Chris. When are you coming back home?
Don't worry, he'll
man.
message in.
What's that?
He'll message in.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, whoever wants to call on that, you can call.
Chris is my friend from high school, man. We hooked up years ago. I remember showing up at his house, and he had his drum set up in his bedroom. And he had like the rubber pads over his drum kit, so you couldn't even hear anything, you know. But we just hit it off, man. We became really good friends. Over all the years, we would hang out and go to shows together and play music together, man. It was just, we were in this group. We called ourselves Mystic Mojo. And we made a CD with our friend Ted, who flipped the bill to get us into the studio, commercial recording out there in like Independence or something like that. He was playing congas at the time. A friend that I met through a friend. That's what happens when you're in music, you know. You just meet people all the time.
Valid.
And then Chris moved back to California, and he's been down there for a couple years again. He was down there for a couple, then he came back for a couple, and he's back there. But
Then
I'm
he'll
sure
come back again.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come back, man. I don't blame him either. You know, things are always sunny in California, I imagine. Not that I would know.
But you
been
never
there
know.
myself.
California could break off or sink.
It could, man. It could catch a blaze and just. That's it.
Yeah, that's a little too soon.
He's
to be
over in
the
Sonoma,
forest fire.
man. He's got a nice gig set up, hauling wine around and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's merry. So thanks for tuning in and listening, man. I hope you guys are all good down there. Say hi to mom and dad for me.
Good times and
No
that.
doubt, man. No doubt. I wish he was still around, man. I probably would be sounding a lot different if he was still around. Plus, it would be cool to record us. I never got that opportunity. He was gone before all that happened. But instead of just recording myself, it'd be cool to, like I said, get a group back together again, man.
Yeah.
Make it happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's always cool, not just for music. It's good just to meet people and make new friends, too, you know?
Mhm.
It's a good way to just hang out on a Friday or Saturday night, you know? Have a couple cold ones, sit back, relax. Talk about what your week was like, unwind a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
like the last group I was in, man, it was almost like a job. Of course, we were a little spread out. We weren't really close together. People were like in Kent and
Yeah, I
different areas,
remember.
you know? Yeah, so it was like, we got a gig coming up. Here's 2 weeks. Learn the set list. We'll see you there. And that was it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think you could play really good unless you practice together, you know? And
True.
practice makes perfect, you know? Some people don't see it that way, but for me, it's not just practicing the music. It's getting to know each other. It's a chemistry thing, you know? I think that's what
Well,
makes a
not only
band.
if something goes weird, and that be able to know how people would adjust to it.
Yeah, that too, man.
Yeah, it's
Some
kind of
people don't-
hard.
Don't really dig on that so easily, you know what I mean? That's why some bands just burn out. You know, there's a lot
Probably.
involved when you put a lot of people in a group. This guy said that, or this person said this, and if you can get past all that and just see the bigger picture that you're all in it because you like doing it. If you like doing it, it should be fun.
Yeah.
If it's not fun anymore, then something's going on and somebody needs to make up their mind. You know.
Oh, Chris has some stuff. Read it
Oh.
off to read it off, Dylan.
You want me to read it off?
Yep.
Better yet, you need to get out of North Cali. Glad to hear and see you playing. And then Friday nights at Adam's house. Basement was a place to be for years. Different musicians come and go. Plenty of great jams came alive.
Yeah, man. That's for sure. No doubt. He said it perfectly there, man. That's what we did, like, for 2 straight years. Probably 2 or 3 times he wasn't there on Friday nights. Other than that, he was always there. Through the snow and all that stuff, man.
The blizzards.
Yeah, all that stuff. And he was out in Bainbridge at the time, so from, you know,
Yeah, that's
422
a
out to
drive.
Wycliffe. He hauled it, man. But like I
Wow.
said, we were good friends, man. It was about the music. It was about the friendship. Like I said, I definitely missed the guy. But, you know, when his drums are down there in the basement, I still think about, like, trying to channel the energy. You know, like, he's still here, man.
That's good.
Oh, you gotta love Lee jumping into this. Shots of what?
Shivo.
Shivo.
Oh, Schlevo.
Many good or bad ideas?
Slivovitz, man. Who's this Lee individual logged on here? Do you guys know who that is?
No.
No? All right, well,
This is probably someone you might know that
I
be
was gonna say,
impersonating
man.
somebody.
shots of Schlivovitz. That goes back to my buddy Ted that I mentioned earlier.
Maybe
Put
this
us
is
up in-
Ted pretending to be Lee.
I don't know, it could be, man.
Then you have
Might
Chris
be.
going and saying, ha ha ha.
Ah, yeah, Schlivovitz, man. We used to just put on a good buzz sometimes when we were down there in the basement.
Any good songs come out of it?
Yeah, dude, a lot. And we had the time of our lives. It was so much fun. We went into the recording studio. We were like, Chris and I were beside ourselves. My friend, Ted, Teddy, Theodore, T-Dog, all the nicknames he had. He put up the money for the project, man, and bless his heart because it set a lot of things in motion. But Chris and I were just like, we couldn't believe it. You know, this studio, commercial recording studio, was legit, man. This guy does like professional commercials and voiceovers for like Disney cartoons and things
Oh, yeah.
like that. So I mean, it was, you know, I've gone to recording studios that say they're recording studios, and you walk into some guy's living room and his
Oh, wow.
dog's sitting there on a couch and
Mhm.
stuff, you know. But this was a recording studio, you know what I mean? It was just like, wow, totally professional to the 9, you know. It was
I
quite the
gotcha.
experience. But yeah, Teddy, he always provided the Schlivovitz. It's basically like a Slovenian whiskey. It's a drink, man, and he'd bring it over in these funky looking bottles, all twisted looking, and religiously we would all put the shot glasses down and just have a good time, you know.
Yeah, you can't complain.
Yeah, that's
Then you
another
love
thing I miss.
Chris going and saying, Teddy? Question mark, exclamation marks in that. No, Leanne.
Oh, Leanna. Yeah, that's my girlfriend. I forgot you said you were going under the name Lee, sweetheart. Sorry, I forgot. Lee for short. Yeah, you know about the Schlevovitz. She had to take care of me a lot of those nights. She did quite a fantastic job.
Yeah, you're still alive afterwards.
Hey, behind every man there's a great woman, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually it's the mom, and then, in this case, Leanna. My
Well,
mom might be listening too. Mom, if you're listening, I love you. Shout out to the moms out there, moms of the world. And my daughter, Kira. She's probably listening too. What's up, baby? Love you. Just a quick one there. She's
No, it's-
6.
It's all
Aw.
good.
She'll be 7 this December. Her birthday's the day after mine. And I'm the day after Christmas. So we have like a stretch of
Oh, yeah,
holidays
just
here
like-
where it's just like,
dag.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of coincidental. 4
No,
days
what are the
straight.
odds, man? Yeah, it's just I do kind of turn green and get hairy like the Grinch
Yeah.
around the holidays. I'm just kind of like, can this be over already?
And you know the worst thing? He's just sitting there in a green shirt.
Green. It's a good color, man. Yeah.
I could help that one.
So we got more tracks on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? I don't even know what we
What is
listened to.
it? I know we did great the first one. I don't know if we did Light from You. That would be what, 5?
Yeah. Let's play the first track. Can we play
Alright.
track? Wait, no.
No, we did 1.
Track 5. You're right, man.
Check five, six, jump
Light
ahead,
from You.
Yeah,
jump ahead
so
like,
5.
Like this, just go.
Yep,
Play number
you're 2.
The thing is, my birthday is actually the 23rd on Thanksgiving this
Really?
year, so it's crazy.
Travel in the stars, hiding in the clouds, feet landing on the ground again, heavy to believe. I am amazed from the light of you. I'm not afraid. I have you. Reaching for a chance can change it all. Speeds of things that happen here fail to keep me real. Spinning in a circle, turning up and down, thinking I can make it here, flying round and round. I am amazed from the light of you. I'm not afraid. I have you.
We are
I
back.
just can't. That's funny.
What, you're going to sit there and start laughing now?
No, I just like read off of there, and it's just like really funny to me.
Yeah. Welcome to Lick Effect Radio. We have random people in chat.
Yeah.
We're talking about the people in the chat box.
Yeah. With their interpersonal fighting.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love.
Right.
If you only seen the one time that they were seen there going to fight each other in the bleachers and that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, during the sports broadcast, one of the basketball games.
People are crazy about sports nowadays, man. I don't follow sports much, really.
You
I
don't
haven't
want
had cable
to.
in like 10 years, so that's part of the reason, too.
Oh my god.
You would be
People,
surprised.
they're overpaid, man. The game's not about the game anymore. It's all about the big contracts and the dollar bills, man.
No, that's like my cable bill going home and that $150.
Oh, man.
That's
Cable's
ridiculous.
Dead. Get rid of it, man. Do yourself a favor.
Oh, we're looking
Watch
that.
The way that
Netflix, like,
everything
every
is
day.
now with streaming everything, you know what I mean? It's like you can pick and choose what you want to watch.
Yeah, looking for something now and that, so
I'm sure you'll come to the right conclusion, man.
yeah.
I didn't have the extra money to spend on cable, so that was the first thing to go, and I'll never go back to cable. You know, it's like after
Yeah.
not having it this long.
Spectra is a rip-off artist.
I can't go without cable.
You gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta
Well,
have
every
cable.
once in a while, I just have it on just for background noise when I'm sitting
Yeah.
there folding laundry, garbage, that.
They have
Besides
those
just
antennas.
music.
Yeah. Usually I always have music playing too, but
Yeah, you know, have music, but every once in a while, just hearing people that talk, whatever, about
Yeah.
stupid stuff or whatever, and that. It sort of, you know, breaks that norm and that when you're doing whatever.
Yeah.
So, that's the only reason. I'm not going to lie.
kill cable, man. Get
I
rid
mean,
of
it's
it.
like here and there I can go without cable, but like not
I
every
miss-
day.
Yeah. Not being able to turn a game on real quick to see what the Cavs are doing is kind of annoying, but it's not worth my money
No, you
to
just
watch
go
a
on the
game for
internet.
5 minutes. And yeah, exactly. Do a quick check, see what's going on. I'm good to go. But to each their own. Everybody's got their things, man. Like back in high school, I watched everything religiously. Of course, I wasn't paying the bills back then. But like ESPN every morning, I knew everybody's stats. I knew all that stuff. Like I got a buddy that asked me about fantasy football every year. Sorry, dude, it's the same answer as last year. I'm not interested. Just because I don't follow it.
I
you
just
know?
do it for kicks.
Yeah.
I don't go follow everything religiously and that. I
Yeah.
just do, you know, every once in a while, sort of that thing. You
Mhm.
know, sort of do. Out of reality. Don't
Yeah.
need to pay attention to work, this, that.
Right.
It's,
Something
you know, that 10
different.
minutes out of the week that, you know, you
Yeah.
might break over a few days that's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's that me time.
Me time, yeah. I got a couple buddies at work doing fantasy football, and they're in it strictly for the money. Because they got a big pot going, you know, like a lot of guys at work get in it together. And it's pretty high from what I heard, you know. The top two get it, and they split it or something like that. I don't know how it goes.
Something
it's always
like
nice
that.
to win money, man.
True.
You can't win if you don't play. That's what they say about the lottery, right? They go
Yeah.
around, hey, you want in on a lottery? Nah. Heaven forbid it hits and I miss out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was the king. Was it the king last year in the fantasy sports in the station? Except for the
There you go.
playoffs in football.
Boom.
Yeah, I won the regular season in the football league. I won the regular season in the basketball league and the playoffs.
Wow.
And you know the sad thing is, I had the auto draft go during the fantasy basketball thing, so I didn't even pick the players. I didn't even have the pick by
jeez.
position.
You got lucky, man.
I was in the middle of doing an interview while they were over at Holden drafting and that. Then I had to go talk to one of the police officers here and that about something. So yeah, I didn't even get to go and actually draft.
Wow.
Some people get all the luck, I guess.
So yeah, that was kind of sad and funny at the same time. I didn't even get to participate in it. All I just did is play the people I played. And here and there, you know, get somebody new or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
There's
whatever
irony.
makes you happy. Yeah, there you go.
So, with that, what's your new projects and that you got going?
New project, man. The only thing that really comes to mind is just trying to find people that are looking to get themselves recorded or heard. I'm to the point now to where it would be nice to take on some projects. Like if people are looking to get themselves recorded at a, pretty cheap price versus the option of trying to find a studio and spending a lot more money, that they could contact me. Any kind of questions they have, kind of almost like a business, I guess. Not to handle it like a business, because I'm not that
Sort of
well
that
off,
side
but
hobby business thing.
yeah, man, just to meet with somebody, chat a little bit about details, see what's going on, what they would actually like. Because I can't make anybody sound... I can make anybody sound how I would like them to sound, but unless they collaborate,
Mhm.
this is kind of what I'm going for. Then it gets my gears going, and that's, for me, is my creative outlet. Like I said, it's not so much playing out these days, especially solo. It's more of just staying creative with the tools that I can use.
Now it's time to grab your headphones. Someone's calling.
Someone's calling? Which headphones do I grab, man? Anyone?
Anyone right there. You are live, dear old caller.
Hello?
Hello? They hung up.
Oh, they hung up, man, just when it was getting interesting. That's cool. It sounds pretty cool to have the headphones on, though.
Maybe. Would you like to know?
Whoa.
Yeah, they called under an unknown number and that.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
Guess I
well.
didn't want to talk. That's
Well,
alright.
you
It
always
was worth
could
a
get
shot.
bored and then call again.
Maybe.
So,
Other projects, though, man. Other than that, just trying to stay current, keep writing, keep going down there, trying to be inspired. Like I said earlier, it's a love-hate. Sometimes you just can't get anything to come out, man. And other times, it just happens by accident.
and imagine every once in a while you could get writer's block.
Yeah, man. A couple years ago, I just kept writing and writing and writing. A lot of lyrics. And now it's like, nothing, man. Nothing.
You
got
are
some?
live.
Hello?
You're on Lake Effect Radio.
Wow.
Well, we know that was Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a little
yucky
poker or
sax.
something, huh? It's pretty cool.
That's funny.
Thanks for calling. But that's it, man. Just to keep moving. Like when I picked that 6-string bass up a year ago, that was kind of a new hurdle for me. It was like, I don't know if I could tackle this or not, if I should even bother. I told myself I would never get a 6-string bass. Like, why? Just why? It seems so dumb to me. And I stepped in a Guitar Center store. I picked it up, and 40 minutes just flew by. I looked down at my watch, and I'm like, holy crap, I've been sitting here for almost an hour just jamming on this thing, man. It felt so good. It felt like a piece of me. And that's usually when like when you pick one off of the wall and it feels like a rock, put it back. Pick up another one. It's like, oh, this feels like another hand or something, like it's part of me. It just feels so good.
It's that instrument.
It is, man. Whatever it is, man. It just
Yeah,
fits
the
you.
instrument thing that you can do things with.
It was set up so good too. I mean, it just plays so easily. You don't have to fight it at all. It almost plays itself.
Yeah.
So you never know what's gonna come around the corner, man. Always be progressive. If you're really good at something, just keep doing it. Some bands have been able to play the same 3 or 4 chords their whole career.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
True.
It works for them, obviously. If it worked for me, then I'd be rich and famous. Living a good life of a rock star. But maybe it's not all it's that cracked up to be. You know what I mean?
I
Read
gotcha.
about it in magazines and things like that. Being on the road, what it could do to your brain and all that stuff. I guess I'll never know. But I'm the happiest when I'm down there making music and something done comes out. It's like, cool. Now on to the next one. You know what I mean? Now on to the next one. A year from now, whatever music I'm making will probably sound completely different from what we've been listening to tonight, And that's the direction I want to go in. I just want to keep making music. See what it sounds like. There's a track on there, I think it's called Sunday Afternoon.
Yes.
It's an old one from the Mystic Mojo days, man, but it's got a little bit different spin on it. Again, because I don't have my buddy Chris around or anybody else around, so I just kind of redid it, a little mashup.
Your way.
My way, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
It might have some keyboards in there, but yeah, drums, bass. That might even have a little guitar in there. I'm not sure. They came out with a pretty good groove. I think it's pretty solid. I like the bass climb in the chorus. It's a Sunday afternoon, yeah. It's a pretty chill, laid-back song.
I
It's
gotcha.
basically just the name of the title, Sunday Afternoon. I try to do little as possible on a Sunday, man. I kick back and relax. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't cutting the grass. I'm chilling. You
I
what mean?
gotcha.
That's what it's all about. It is my day of rest. So that basically inspired that song in a nutshell, man.
Day of Rest.
That's right.
I like it. Let's go to it and see what it is.
It's a Sunday afternoon. Nothing's going on. I'm gonna rest my eyes, close my mind. Sometimes I hear nothing, and it sounds so sweet. Can I get a little something? When it's time to play again, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. Collective pages turn. My head is heavy. An idea comes to mind, and I laugh at myself. Resting in a store, feeling high and loaded, kicking back the shore to my Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday
We can see. Go back to that.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you had to choose between the bass and the drums, which one would you choose?
If I had to choose between the bass and drums, which one would you choose? She snuck a question in there, fellas. She's on top of things. It's a good question.
She's earning her zero paycheck.
Boom.
What? No, I should
You
be
gotta
paid
put it in
$10
the hard
bucks.
times now. You'll be
We don't
making
get
money.
paid here. I mean, seriously. Where do you think this is?
Hey, I don't know.
Oh, it's funny. You know what? Bass, hands down. I love the drums too, man. I really do. They're a lot of fun. And I think I've actually had more people come up to me after a gig or something and say, "Man, you're awesome on the drums," you know? Basically, I've had more compliments from people, I think, on my drumming than my actual bass playing. Which I hope doesn't go to say that I'm a crappy bass player. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy sucks. But, nah, bass is just something about it, man. I like it so much, you know? Sometimes I'll drop it really down low, and then I come really up high, because, you know, they always say you slap it better when it's up higher, you know? Slap at the bass, man. It does feel a little bit funkier when it's up high than down low. But I found, like, a good, happy place. But, yeah, bass is, there's just something about it. It's a rhythm instrument. I mean, I know the drums are, too. I just love it, man. There's something about it. Just the vibrations, you know? It's cool. I wish I was a better guitar player, but I don't know. Guitar's overrated.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Bass is where it's at, man. Keep it in the basement. It's usually the heart and soul of a song are bass and drums. It's the heartbeats. Everything else sits on top of all of that stuff.
Well, the drummer drives the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt
He goes
about it.
fast, everyone else has to go
Yeah, that's
fast.
right. You got to keep up with them, man.
Otherwise, you look stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
But I definitely would choose bass, and then drums.
Yeah. I like the
Sure.
drums much more.
Drums, yeah.
They're like really, really fun, especially like because you're beating on it and you make any type of beat that you want. So like,
Yeah.
especially the rhythm of it.
Sure
it's
thing,
really
yeah.
fun.
Cool thing is about drums too is you could mash them up so many different ways. You can have like a really small kit. You can have like a ginormous kit. Like some of these guys in the metal bands, you know. I don't know what it is about metal, but they just feel like they have to have tons of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It blows my mind sometimes. Look at some of these bands like Dream Theater. This guy's got drums above his head. He's like in a square box. They're actually mounted to like a metal frame.
Yeah.
So he has to physically stand up and play these drums. Like all the way down. It's like, wow, dude, that's just crazy. He's got like 3 kick drums set up. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, drums are a lot of fun. I do think I actually have more fun playing drums too. It's just something about it, man. When everything's
more
moving.
freedom.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Like heat and wax something.
Yeah.
You gotta go with that reference. Come on.
Yeah, it's just like really, really fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just like me when I go and do.
Yeah, especially those. Those
Yeah,
are like my
nice.
most funnest thing to do, actually.
See, you gotta love having like 63 hot buttons.
It's cool, man.
Something like that.
I do those in school though.
Like besides Grayson, that's singing, he's screaming already and he has his head and body moving.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you like it, dude.
Maybe if you come back to Ohio, you guys can create something, dude.
Yeah, man. Or
I'm
maybe I
sorry,
need to
Hal.
go over there. I'd love to get over there someday, man. It'll happen one of these days.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
It'll find its time and place.
That's right. I like it. Just
You
like
know.
that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think things happen for a reason. I really do. It might not be the reason you want or need, but sooner or later,
Yeah.
if you keep your head up, man, and make good decisions, I think good things will happen to you. Try to live positively, and positive things will come your way. That's how I like to look at it. It's not always easy, but I don't want to spend my life being pissed off the whole time. You know what I mean? It's too short.
Yeah.
Let the small things go. I guess that's what they do over there in California, man. Everybody has a good time, and they just let it roll.
Well, you can ask Chris.
Oh, I know how he rolls. I know. I know how you roll, brother.
Come
Yeah.
on, I know you got something else.
Woo.
Hey, you're gonna be here, and this is what you're going to have to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just had to make that all funny.
of
It's
course.
okay.
Just seen that coming.
But bam.
Yeah. Not
We've covered a lot of
much.
ground here.
Yeah.
We've been on for a while now. We're doing all right.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
trying to break her into things.
Yeah, and it seems like you're trying to put me in the front.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah, you got Chris in the head. Yeah, we can do that. As soon as I will get you. Where is it? I will get you.
You and the fam out here. Yeah, I got to bring my girls with me. They want to see what the West Coast is all about too. I keep telling them I'm gonna leave behind. Though I'm just gonna go for a weekend. I'm just gonna go see Chris by myself. You know. I don't know about that one.
They should see the ocean. I haven't seen either ocean
No.
all my life. And hell, I'm 29.
I was down in South Carolina once. I think I saw Myrtle Beach was down there. That's Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Or Disney World or Six Flags.
I only went to Six Flags because I went to Texas. We traveled down there and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drove down there.
Yeah.
Whew.
Don't worry, now your two girls should be saying thank you for trying to go secretly con, you know.
Well, I
God,
openly
I'm
discuss it
ridiculous.
with my better half. She knows. She's heard all about it over the years now. You know, I could go over there. Yeah, you could. It's like really encouraging, you know. In the back of her mind, she's probably thinking, I don't think so, pal. Not unless you take me with you. One day.
It's fun to travel.
Yeah, I wish I could do it more. Someday. That's the plan eventually. I'm on the 18 and out plan, I call it. When my daughter turns 18, I'm out. That's what I tell people. Like, we're going to get a mobile home and we're just going to drive around. We're going to get one of them little tiny houses and just see the world. Because I've been stuck in Ohio long enough, man. I just want to go see different stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to see what's out there. And we're both on the same page. So as long as my, daughter is good to go. I mean, we're talking years down the road, but when she's an adult, it's my turn to be a kid all over again. So we got time for what? One more? You gonna do one more
Yeah.
track?
Yeah, my mic isn't working from what he's saying.
No.
So yeah, Mike one didn't decide to stop
check.
working in that.
Mic check.
Oh,
Kaput.
wow.
Something like that.
Kaputs.
It's probably something stupid.
Probably.
So yeah,
Technical difficulties. Wah wah.
it happens. So
Number
yeah,
4.
4.
Ho. I'm glad
DI
you
box?
picked up on that. Yeah, man. Like the guy told me when I bought the recording stuff, he's like, bass transmits at such a low frequency. You got to get a DI box to help boost. And I bought it and I never used it until just like the other day. I was like, holy jeez! I plugged it in and everything was like through the roof. So
Wow.
I'm sure I'll have some fun with that now.
Yeah, we just bought 2.
Nice.
And that they're laying right over here and that.
Yep.
Especially because we had people playing downstairs and that here and there during the lunch rush and
Yeah.
that. I want to try to pick that up in spring and that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had here and there like the one guy and that it was a ground loop in that, which
Yeah.
you sort of need a DI box to be able to deal
Right.
with that.
Yep. DI box comes in handy, man.
Yeah.
And they're small and compact too, you know, easy to carry around and stuff. Chris, those are live drums too, man, just so you know. You wanted to know if those are live drums on the track. Pretty crazy, huh? I added an extra floor tom in there, man, so they're pretty large and in charge. I'm glad you liked them, man.
It's like John and Gerald Lee on the track.
Oh, Geddy Lee.
Or Geddy Lee.
John
Oops.
Bonham, yeah, it's John Bonham and Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always say the right things, man. Those are like my two
It's like he knows you.
favorite dudes. Yeah, he knows me a little bit. John Bonham, man, that's where I learned how to play drums, basically. Him and Dave Grohl, I see a lot of John Bonham and Dave Grohl's drumming. They just play like tree trunks, man. Boom, boom. Play heavy and hard, you know. Not incredibly like technical and stuff, but they just bang the heck out of those drums. And Geddy Lee from Rush, I mean, crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy. Nice.
But yeah, you have Chris and that. Well, Awesome Brown, whatever sounds good. Best those sound live.
Nice.
That.
I'm glad you like them, man.
And yeah, it was because he wasn't close to the mic, Tim. That's why. It's not another mic issue. So
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
It's been real, huh?
yeah,
Nice.
it's good discussion in that.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me again. I'm glad you all could join in. This was cool.
Yeah.
We're having
you
like a
get a
little party
posse.
up in here. Yeah, it was cool. It was a
Posse
good
and
time.
things.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And listening to music and that in cool, good sounding headphones.
Yeah, really, man. Well, I'm glad you guys could hang in there. I know it might seem a little boring just to
No, you're
sit
not
here with
boring.
no instruments or nothing like that, you know, but thanks for hanging in there.
It's
you
not
know?
always everyone brings instruments in that.
Yeah. I was close this time around, but last
Don't
minute
worry.
decision.
Next
I opt
one.
out. Next one, maybe. Maybe Chris will be in town for that one.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Maybe you try to work in that or try to come into Ohio in that in April.
April.
Yeah, April.
Perfect. Good one, Jeremiah. Good one.
I couldn't help that.
Right on, man. Right on.
Come on. Next week starts the anniversary of, 1 week of using this expanded
That's awesome, man.
Deathify new sound,
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to use
all
it.
that.
It was so much fun.
Then not being restricted to sound or 12 sound effects. So yeah, you have to sit there and play with this stuff.
There you go.
All the cool kids got it.
That's right. Boom.
But it's been a pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Good work,
Thank you.
though. I
Thank
do
you.
like the new stuff.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you very much. Again, I mean, on Reverb, Facebook, Adam Russell. I'll try to put some new stuff up there. Hit the random button. See what happens. If you like something, leave a comment. I'll get back
No, all
to
you
you.
need to do is just,
Yeah.
put, just sit there and just,
I should have somebody else pick the songs. Like, just go through the catalog. Like I said, I got like 60 different songs, man. It's like, just pick them at random, drop them in there, and see what it is, you know?
I might end up doing that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
so
but,
maybe I can make it back in April after the snow's gone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much and having amazing local musician that featured on the local station. That one, love you, Adam.
One love, Christopher. Thanks a lot, man. This is the next best thing to having them like right here, so it's cool.
Yeah, April 2nd.
I'm glad you guys had me back, man. That's part of the reason why I love coming on here so much is you guys have everything set up live. You know, it's really cool. It's
Yeah.
a good way to tell friends, family, whoever, like, hey, man, check this out. These guys over at Lake Effects got something special going on, man. They're good at what they do. They keep it fun. You know, they could walk halfway in and on an interview and keep it going. You know, and
Things
they could
happen
be
like
really sweet and
Innocent?
quiet.
Yeah,
Quiet.
that's me.
Something like that.
But it's been real, man. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Thanks a
we're
lot.
one of the kind. You know,
That's all right.
we're really random.
You
Things
guys are
happen.
cool in my book, man.
We try. We try.
Keep up
deep
the
down
good work.
inside.
Keep up the good work.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, did you know about lickeffectradio.org? It's a page of all the local artists.
Uh-huh.
You're in that.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's a button that leads off to your page.
Sweet.
Did you know about that?
No, I didn't, man.
Well, guess what?
I was just
Now
all
you
over
know.
the page yesterday, too. I was checking it out. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, the
man.
website there?
Yeah, yeah.
Does it look
absolutely.
cool?
Yeah, it does, man. I love the logo. I remember that when I came here like 3 years ago. I was like, wow, this is cool, man. I like the logo. Everything's set up really nice, man. Keep up the good work, guys.
We try to do things and
Try.
stuff
That's good. That's good, man.
and pretend like we're productive human beings.
Keep it up. Keep it up, man.
So, we'll catch you. It's been a pleasure, sir.
Right on. Thank you.
All right.